my God, today started out to be one of those days. We are staying at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds, just south of Cleveland. And as you can see, this is kind of one of those glorified parking lot type campgrounds. But it's inexpensive, full hookups with 50 amp service. What I didn't realize though is that where we parked on the the north side of the campground doesn't actually have sewer hookups. And as luck would have it, I backed into a spot that had the exact hookup for sewers back there behind the RV. So it was a little ways back there, so I used all of my sewer hose to get back there. And so this morning I went to drain the black tank and it filled the hose up and then just stopped. And it turned out that the thing I thought was the sewer connection was actually just a clean out for the sewer system, and it didn't actually flow any sewage. So the day started off in a pretty crappy way. I had a sewer hose full of sewage and no way to flush that hose out using the gray tank. So anyway, I managed to get it emptied into a bucket, but it wasn't without some spillage. And fortunately this place, there isn't really anybody else here, just a couple people, so I don't think I offended anybody too badly with the smell or anything else that went on there. But oh my God, in a little over 3 years, that's the first significant problem I've had with the black tank, or with dumping sewage. I've had one other incident, but it was nothing on this scale. So I guess that's pretty lucky in 3 years. But anyway, we got moved to the other side, and now we're good. So the day started off bad. But Terry has always wanted, and I was going to fly my airplane across the lake sometime and come over to Cleveland. It's not that far from Madison, surprisingly, when you go by air, But we were always going to come to Cleveland. She wanted to go see the house from A Christmas Story. And that Christmas Story actually supposedly took place in Hammond, Indiana, but they used a house in Cleveland, a working class neighborhood, to do that as the props for the Christmas Story movie. And so as long as we're here, we decided we would go do that. And it was enjoyable, it was entertaining, and learned a lot, about movie making. Only about 15% of the movie was actually shot there. And so we had a nice guide that gave us a tour and explained what was shot there. And one of the things that I always wondered about in that movie was when the I forget his name, Frick or whatever it was, got his tongue stuck to the flagpole. Well, they actually filmed that scene in Canada, which they filmed a bunch of it in Canada, and they didn't use a metal pole at all for that scene. All that is a piece of PVC pipe painted to look like a flagpole. And to make his tongue stick to it, they actually pulled a vacuum, used a little vacuum pump on it, and that's just a hole where he stuck his tongue on there, and then they pulled a little vacuum on it, and that's how they made his tongue look like it was actually stuck to the metal. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, Terry loved it, and I blew the picture in front of the leg lamp because I stood right in front of the leg lamp. But anyway, you can see we had a good time. But afterwards, this is just how sometimes you get lucky. I didn't really know the best way to get back out of there onto I-71, and I wanted to check out. There's a steel mill, a couple of steel mills that were down the hill behind that house, and I wanted to check out that industrial area. Looked really fascinating to me. So we went down that way, and I took some pictures of stuff like this, drawbridge that was open, and originally had been a double track bridge, but there's only a single track that actually goes across it now, even though it's a double track drawbridge. But as we got down the road a little ways, I happened to catch out of the corner of my eye one of the Great Lakes freighters coming around the corner in the Cuyahoga River. And I realized that, hey, this thing's coming towards us, and we had just crossed a drawbridge. They're going to open that bridge, So sure enough, it took a while before they actually did it. I was going to give up. We were about ready to leave, and I saw another ship coming from the other side. And so I pulled off and went back to the bridge, and I walked out on the bridge, and I was going to get some pictures of this other freighter. And all of a sudden the bells started ringing and everything else. I thought about riding the bridge, but it turns out that the operator comes out and checks to make sure there's nobody standing on the bridge. And anyway, so I got off to the side and filmed it, and the ship going underneath it. And the whole thing was just such a perfect ending for me, because I'm watching this action of drawbridge going up, a vertical lift type of drawbridge, and then along rolls a double stack container train going across above there. The whole thing, just great way to end the day. But anyway, we're having a good time in Cleveland at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds. Not the fanciest, but very inexpensive and good hookups once you hook up to the right thing. Anyway, thanks for watching.